What it do, y'all? This is your boy, the Digital Pit Boss, and we about to get it in a little bit tonight. Um, you know, I had somebody who's in my Fraternal Order of Pan-African group hit me up, and I guess they was watching a little bit of the side-netted TV out there, and they just pretty much wanted me to address a few topics, and you know, so I was like, okay, I can play around with that a little bit and see what's happening. See about addressing some of that. And so here we have it, right? We got the title here. The title is 125th Street, Harlem, Unconscious and Delusional Free Thinkers, right? And so we're going to deal with that a little bit. And, I like to get my vibe kind of rolling. I got me some lemon water I'm drinking late night. I'll probably have some more coffee a little later after this. I think I got a late night coming tonight. Well, I'm going to be up for a minute. But before I really get started, I'm going to let this little vibe rock out for about 2-3 minutes. I'm going to go grab something, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to get started. I'm going to share some videos. I'm going to talk about some stuff. I'm going to get into it. And I'm going to break it down a little bit from my perspective, from a Pan-African perspective, since the subject matter is Zionism has came about, and Pan-Africanism, and Brother Polite, and the other new Rosenberg, Sarnet and them dropped a video. They dealt with some police cameras. They got all kind of stuff. Normally, I don't go too hard. I don't speak too much. I talk a little bit here and there about the conscious community, but this is late night, so I'm in a different mood. So y'all hang tight. I'm gonna be right back at y'all in a few minutes. What it do? Okay, that's a little vibe right quick. Just getting the mood started. I can get cracking with this. Let me shut this down for y'all. Okay, welcome to the room. This is your boy, the Digital Pit Boss, as we gave up the title a little bit earlier. So let me share my screen with y'all real quick and see some stuff. Right, and all right, okay. So Let me make sure y'all can see this screen right quick. Guess you can see this screen. Hopefully, y'all see the screen. Okay, I see it. Y'all can see the screen. Okay, we good to go. All right. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna lay a little foundation. This is just some random site I found, right? Because one of the things you got to understand about all those who love the videos coming out of Sinetta TV, Brother Carl Albert, Lex Vortex, In the Black, all of these little channels that are somewhat interlinked and doing a thing with, Black News 102, this ain't even really like an attack video. So, just in case one of his fans is listening to the show or something or whatever the case, y'all go over there and help them dudes get a news van or whatever. They got some video cameras over there. They getting a little nervous, right? So I'm gonna break this down a little bit, because as I watch their videos, I'm often in a situation where I'm looking at it like they really do not understand what they're doing. I mean, in one case, they just trying to get famous. They talking a lot of information, acting like they bringing forth, some new information, which is cool. But I'm gonna name some stuff tonight, and I want to see if y'all feel like you ever heard of it before. So first off the muscle is the word free thinker, right? Right here, I'm just getting into a few quotes. This is like one of their free thinker slogans. So I want y'all to, when we read through these slogans, I want you to just think about which conscious community member is somewhat saying something like that. So you can see this stuff is long before a Sinetta TV. So the first one, no Jesus, no peace. Let me try to blow it up so y'all can read. I don't know how well y'all can see, but I'm gonna blow it up as big as I can get it, right? Okay, so no Jesus, no peace, no Jesus, no peace. That's a slogan from the mind of a free thinker, right? The next one, Darwin loves you. Blasphemy is a victimless crime. Abstinence makes the church grow fondlers. Fondlers makes them grow fondlers. Honk if your religious belief makes you an asshole. Don't pray in my school, and I don't think in your church. Intelligent design makes my monkey cry. Thank God I'm an atheist. Woo-wee, who does that one go to, right? Too stupid to understand science. Try religion, right? Who loves science? Which group just really loves to promote science, right? There's a reason why atheists don't fly planes into buildings. If you think God is your co-pilot, try letting him land the plane. Worship me. I will torture you forever. Have a nice day, God. If Jesus is inside me, I hope he likes fajitas, because that's what he's getting. Okay, that's a little funny. God don't kill people. People who believe in God kill people, right? If there is no God, then what makes the next Kleenex pop up? This is silly, but that's what it is, right? I'm gonna skip down a little bit. Praying is begging, right? Think about that. Praying is begging. Now, I understand this is just a little funny slogan page, and they just probably trying to sell a bumper sticker or something. But the reality is praying is meditation. Meditation is praying, deep thought, concentration on your thought, going with inside your own mind, right? I may got to rip open a little Bible just to show you how praying is it. Matter of fact, since I'm on it, let's get it. I'm just happen to be in this little mood. Let me see if I know what I'm doing. This is Luke. We got to go to 17. I think it's like verse 20. Let me go down here and see what we're doing, right? All right. So here we go. The coming of the kingdom of God. Now, when he was asked by the Pharisees, when the kingdom of God would come, he answered and said, the kingdom of God does not come with observation. So don't even think about building no temples in Israel because the kingdom of God is not going to be there, right? Nor will they say, see here or see there, for indeed the kingdom of God is within. Where is the kingdom of God? The kingdom of God is within you, right? What do the Comedics say? God is within you, or you're God, and you got to go know thyself, right? These are some of their sayings. Well, the Bible is saying the same thing. You want to call it plagiarism because righteousness is righteousness wherever righteousness is found. But they ain't going to tell you that. But nevertheless, we'll leave that right there. We're going to get back to these slogans, right? I just wanted to show you something in that aspect. Actually, I was really supposed to be going to more of a meditation, but that is the meditation. Praying, going within inside yourself to find God. What is God? God is going to be that thought that comes to you in your thought process. Where does that thought come from? If you listen to the Comedics, that's the metaphysical realm. If you listen to the Bible, that's the metaphysical realm. That's a realm that is not made of matter, of material, right? You can't weigh it. You can't see it. You can't feel it, but yet you know it's there because you're thinking and operating, and thus you are operating or tuned into another universe or another realm and dealing with this metaphysical property that we call the mind, which the mind itself, the brain per se, is matter. It's made of things, right? It's created. But the thoughts that's generated from the mind, that in itself is not matter in the universe. There's no way to say, as you're a little child and your mind is developing and you're reading books and exploring life and you're coming up with all types of ideas, that you could say that these thoughts that you did not know yesterday that you know today were contained in your mind. Your mind didn't create the thought until you meditated on the thought, and then the thought came to you. Well, the Bible describes that's how it was written in the same way, by divine inspiration. But, people, these dudes up here, they just hate it. They don't want to accept it. They don't want to consider it. They just want to figure out a way to debunk it. And so we're going to show them why them video cameras done landed on 125th Street. And they don't understand because they're not working with no power. They can't stop an attack, a simple attack. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what they're doing. So let's read a few more of these. Actually, if you look up, the winter solstice is the reason for the season. Okay, yeah. I guess that's December 21st, right? The winter solstice. All right. So I would trust you, God, even if he did exist. I wouldn't trust you, God, even if he did exist, right? So now y'all get the point. We ain't got to roll through all of these, but if you want to go here and laugh a little more, you just go to freethoughtpedia.com, right? And you can get on here and see this site. So I showed you this because we're about to watch a little clip. Hopefully, the suckers don't be trying to attack because, I know how to handle that. But anyway, I'm going to give you just a few seconds so we can put some shit in perspective, right? So in this clip here, we're going to deal with Sa-Netta. Sa-Netta. I kind of like that little opening he was rocking. I don't know who really rapping on that, but it's kind of catchy. So, this message is really to Sa-Netta. Like, your homies over there so busy trying to get on your jock and become a star that they ain't gonna tap you on the shoulder and say, look, homie, hold the brakes up, because some of this shit we doing got repercussions. So let's go back down here, right? I'm gonna have to show this, whatever. This is published September 6, 2016, right? Forget that. Y'all want to go support channel, Sa-Netta channel, Black News 102. Send that dude $20 or something for his truck, because what you about to witness, he gonna damn show need that truck so he can get his ass from up under that camera. So here we go. We're gonna watch Sa-Netta get at a Jew. I understand when you're dealing with what they call white folks. I hear everybody talking about what people are named, Moors, this, that. You know, for me, all these terms are legal terms. They have only power in the court of law. When you walk up in the court of law and they say, what are you? You know, you can come with your own personal feeling. I'm Kemetic. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. They're just gonna look at you like that's nowhere in the books. We don't find that in the books. Name something in the book so I can figure out how I'm gonna deal with you. In this sense, he's dealing with a Jew. Jew is classified as white when it comes to legalities, right? In the court of law, white being a legal term has a legal repercussion or a legal benefit. Either way, depending on how they're being dealt with. But today, we're in the common court, this courts of the streets, and Sarnetta done walked up off that block and he done ran into a senator or some type of guy who was a lawyer prior to what he wants to accomplish, right? And what he want to do is he want to run for city office. So in his heart, he want to make some change to the community. He done came out here with the black folks. He gonna see what they talking about, whatever the case, and he runs up on Sarnetta. Now he obviously don't know who Sarnetta is and don't have a clue about Sarnetta TV and the power of Sarnetta's camera. But right here, he about to find out. So let's get into this little clip a little bit.
Sleeping, man. We know what time it is already.
All right, what the hell happened? Okay, wait a second.
Man's coming here to save you. No white.
Wait a minute, what's up with
Come
that?
on up here. It's this man. Come on up here. Yeah, niggas disagree with you. Come on over here.
Okay, this is crazy. I don't know why my
Man, come on up here. Yeah, niggas disagree with you. Come on over here. Come on up here. It's this man. Come on up here.
okay.
Come on up here. Come on, say.
Hold on, let me change this because I know what the business is. Let me break this down. Y'all didn't know you can do this, huh? But you can go in here, kind of change your quality of the video. It'll help it play a little bit when your computer ain't want to act right. And you didn't set this up 15, 20 minutes ago, and now I don't want to act right. Okay. So once again, we're gonna get this clip cracking. I rewinded it a little bit, hopefully.
Come on up here. It's this man. Come on up here. Yeah, niggas disagree with you. Come on over here. Come on up here. It's this man. Come on up here. Come on up here.
I want y'all to stop. I want you to look at his face. Because see, this dude is way smarter than Sarnetta. Trust me. And way more connected in New York, Harlem area than Sarnetta. And he ain't gonna forget this moment. Trust me. He ain't gonna say too much now, but it's a deep-seatedness about the look in his face, because he called himself coming out here to interact with the people. And you know, I don't know what's going on in New York like that, but I definitely could look at this video and tell by the look in his face. This sat with him. He not gonna forget who Sarnetta is. So let's watch the clip.
Come on, say up here. He's disagreeing with you.
Let me explain something to you, sir. I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran. I was born and raised in Harlem. By the way, my name is.
Did you kill in the name of Uncle Sam?
Listen, man. At the end of the day, I did what I had to do for my country.
I asked you that. Did you kill as an arm in the name of Uncle Sam? Did you hold on? Did you leave the ghetto and go outside of America and kill and come back home to be a nigga again? Always Negro.
He's not educated correctly. He's this gentleman. He's telling everybody else.
No fucking Jews from dealing with information. There's always Negro. So now we can stand here with the camera now. Come on.
Do that over there.
Okay, we having a little difficulty with this little video, but I want to fast forward it to where the white dude comes back into the video, right? And I may kind of lost that point where what I was really trying to show you. And well, he kind of right here a little bit. Let's see. What Where is he at? I done lost his little point. Okay. So maybe right here. Let's just see. Y'all, you know, don't.
Because I'm telling black people, don't sleep on this white man coming in here to get y'all vote. This nigga's upset at me for waking y'all up. How many times the white man came here in New York, in Harlem, to get our vote? And when they get in the office, what do they do to y'all? What do they do to y'all? Nothing. But this fucking nigga gonna come here and try to tell me about Harlem. Is he upset with the trillions of dollars that's being ripped from the African continent every year? Trillions of dollars ripped from African people every year. How angry is he at that? Black people being murdered. 500 million black people murdered by these peckerwoods the past 500 years.
Okay, so basically what's going on here, right, is that in the sense of what they doing and thinking that you winning, right? I'm gonna go back to this little quote page, but thinking that you winning in dealing with this cat, it's going to have a repercussion because this guy is running for city office. He might not even win, but nevertheless, he a lawyer, as he explains to him in that clip. Y'all go check the clip out on Black News 102 and find that clip. I'll give you the title a little later if you didn't catch it before, or rewind it back. And he's going to holler at, he's going to do his politicking about who in the hell is Sonetta TV. Not only that, he going to run to the channel and find it for himself. And he going to take a look and observe what's been going on for the last few years on this channel, right? So that was posted on September 6th. And here we are about a month later. Now check this video out, right? So this one, Sonetta Studio, right? And y'all go over there, you know, subscribe to his channel, you know, support him, do all of that. Ain't nobody hating on nobody trying to make it and do what they do. But, you know, in one aspect, they don't always know what they're doing. They just doing. So here we go. A month later, this video pop up today. You see where I caught it at. It's only at 300. This thing, if I refresh this page, ain't no telling something to get it popping over there. But he got some cameras on the block. So we're going to let, you know, Sonetta tell us about it.
At the poll. Look at that shit. They hear me. I'm talking about it. They looking right at me. Why the fuck would they put cameras right there? Where we been at? Look at this shit. They see me and I see them. So right there, that shows you that we are making power moves, family. Y'all think we ain't doing nothing? Out of all the spots on the 125th Street, why would they come right here and put the fucking cameras up there? Take a look. Take a look. Right here with Sonetta B. And where we be dropping the knowledge, they got that shit going on. Take a look again. They got the fucking cameras right above my head. Right across from their pocket. Ain't that some deep shit, family? See, y'all talk about what we doing ain't nothing. Nah, what we doing is something. Let me zoom up a little bit. Look at that. Look at that shit. They wanna tune in on everything that we doing. So now we gotta go the fuck in. We gotta go in. I already got you already when you was.
Okay, so in a moment, you know, Red Pill gonna walk up. And when Red Pill walk up, you know, he called himself, you know, super intellectual, like he just really dropping some hardcore knowledge on us that we ain't heard or seen on Google or whatever the case, or we can't roll back and listen to that before 6 months ago. But nevertheless, they are delusional because they really believe that they are empowering the world with some information that has never been known. And now that they're here, putting in the work as they subscribe it, that all of a sudden, they putting in so much work that they got to come bring cameras and post it on top of his t-shirt business. And now that he got cameras on top of him, as though cameras wasn't already watching you for the last several years in 1,000 different ways. Now that it's obviously on top of you, you think that now it's time to go? Well, where are you going to go? Where you going to go then? Cameras ain't still following you. They ain't listening to your conversations. Do y'all think that your phones ain't tapped? That they ain't already got sophisticated systems in play for a simple YouTube channel crew? It's too easy. You're delusional in what you think is going on. So let's understand how deep your delusion goes. So now I ain't gonna touch that page just yet, right? I want y'all to understand, earlier we talked about the free thinkers. And I want you to understand how long ago these free thinkers came in. This is from the Free Thought Today, posted in April 1988. Free thinkers of early Texan Hill Country, right? Y'all can look this guy up, Edwin E. Sharf, if that's pronounced correctly, right? And understand how they move. So I'm going to read a little bit. It says, between the years of 1845 and 1860, a large contingent of German free thinkers immigrated to the Texas Hill Country. Unlike the thousands of adversarian-sponsored German farmers migrating to the United States and Texas to escape overpopulation and economic problems, the free thinkers began ardent advocates of democracy and freedom from religion. Were fleeing primarily from a political and religious tyranny from Germany, right? They came to the United States seeking freedom from dictatorial monarchies and clerics. The free thinkers refused to accept political absolutism and the authority of the church, religion, or its supposedly inspired scripture. They insisted on the freedom to form religious opinions on the bias of intellectual reasoning powers and not on blind, unquestioned faith. Free thinkers became fashionable in German states of Prussia during the reign of Frederick the Great, who ruled from 1740 to 53, within the period known as the Age of Reason. The Age of Reason began in the late 1600s and extended into the 1700s, and was the period of the history of philosophers emphasized the use of reason as the best method of learning truth. Its leaders included Descartes, Voltaire, I'm a little weak on these names, Bacon, Locke, and Paine. The period produced many important advances in fields such as autonomy, astronomy, chemistry, mathematics, and physics. That's the Kemetic layout right there. That's what the Kemetics say, focus on that, right? And if anybody is familiar with my Pan-African breakdown, right, I say that Pan-Africanism, listening to Polite a little bit earlier, try to kick his Pan-African and try his best to separate Pan-African from Christianity is a damn fool, just like you can't separate Zionism from their Jewishism going on. Jews came up with the idea of Zionist, but Zionism is a political wing of their religious perspective. Just like Pan-Africanism is a wing of a religious understanding among the Black Christians. You can check this by simply going to the 1900 Pan-African conference held in London and pull up the list of names of everybody who was in attendance as a speaker and prominent member of the organization or the conference at the time, and check their backgrounds and see what is the body of the people and what do they believe. And why did they bring themselves together to be concerned about Black folks worldwide under their colonialism in Africa and slavery and oppression in the Americas and various things like that? Go in there and see how many of them people are free thinkers. Maybe one, maybe two. Definitely W.D. Du Bois was in the house, and his ass was a flip-flop. So he was there. He was probably one of them free thinkers. We're going to see his moves a little later in history, past 1900. We're going to see how W.D. Du Bois, what he felt about, Booker T when he came back home from the conference, and how he took the Niagara movement and pushed that unit to go move against what Booker T was trying to develop in the building of a civilization. And then later on, how he took that and pressed on against Marcus Garvey to go call the feds on him and get James Wormley to move in on Marcus Garvey and get him caught up, catch him on tax evasion, throw him in jail, release the man, get his ass deported, and get that Black power shit up out of here, was his method. While he then later in life flipped his game, thought about what them dudes was doing, seeing how the NAACP spine guard Jews worked him, tricked him, flipped his script, and went to Ghana and became a hero because he started talking about what Marcus Garvey was talking about what Booker T was talking about, but he wasn't talking about it when the men were living, when he had his opportunity. He just simply wasn't feeling it yet because he was being offered golden nuggets by the gold men's and the silver men's and the copper men's and the men's made of metal that got all the money and all the control and pretty much is the baddest man walking on the planet when it comes to organization and execution today. You got to give it up. You got to salute the Jews because, like them or not, they done took over. And we're going to get into that. And y'all can go look on my page. I got a great video I posted a few days ago called Zionism and World War III. You're never going to hear this kind of information coming from any of their platforms unless they came over here and listened to it and then decided that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. And especially they ain't going to mention nobody like Benjamin Freeman. They just don't know about these type of people because they over there with the Rosenbergs who are Zionists, and I'm posting up the anti-Zionists. Now, why don't I got Rosenberg over here? I just, he ain't talking about what I'm talking about. I don't got no problem with the Zionists wanting to push Zionism. That's what they want. They should be pushing that. I'm not tripping. I'm pushing Pan-Africanism. I'm pitching something that interests me, and I'm not twisting it to try to get fans. I'm not over here trying to get you to like me. If anybody met me online, I'm not the one trying to get you to like me. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. It really don't matter. It can't stop me. I've been around a long time, way before the conscious community. I was in the game. So I'm showing you here with these free thinkers. I pop around a little bit. Y'all caught me on a good one tonight, man. Sometimes I won't be in the mood. But tonight, I'm a ride for a little bit. And so we back to this age of reason. And I'm showing y'all this so y'all can understand that it's a group of people starting all the way back in the 1600s and extended into the 1700s that they trying to push autonomy, astronomy, chemistry, mathematics, and physics among themselves, back when Black folks was fighting slavery, trying to figure out how they're going to raise up and come up out that situation. These Germans was in Germany being attacked by the clergy and those people, and they wanted to get the hell out of there. And so they said, well, let's go to America and let's get our business on over there. So by the time they get over here, they land in Texas Hill County. The free thinkers numbered in the estimate of 1,000 individuals with close to 250 documented surnames. This group came primarily from the intellectual core of the German states, with many of them being highly respected, notable philosophers, scientists, physicians, and engineers, right? That's what the Germans are doing today, that very same thing. German scientists, German physicians, German engineers, cars made out of Germany. Everybody wish they can get their paper up. Go get you some German foreign shit. How you think they got that? Because they was thinking about this way back then when there was no cars. They was focused on engineering. You know, Booker T, he's in slavery right now. In 1845, 1860, he was just coming on the planet. He just a little boy. He ain't been to college yet. It's coming though. He on the planet. He coming. And he gonna learn what he need to know. Because what he about to do when he get there, that's gonna change perspective of the whole world. The whole world is gonna change when Booker T get to Tuskegee. Y'all can talk about he was a sellout because you don't know shit about him. You ain't read none of the books. I know you haven't. Y'all just make statements from Sinetta videos you watched 3-4 years ago, and they definitely don't talk about Booker T. If y'all can go back and find me a video or somebody on Sinetta TV talking about Booker T 2-3 years ago, I shut up talking. Because I've been watching and filming since then. And I know for sure what they talk about. I done seen all their videos, and I know everything they be talking about. When I designed my group, I did it specifically based on all of this comedic Pan-African I was witnessing, realizing what's wrong with my brothers. Why is they flipped out? Oh, because they hating the way the church been manipulated. They got the white Jesus. They sick of that. They hate the Bible, but they want to be down with black people, but they really don't want to go be a Muslim, whatever. All of a sudden, the girls that's practicing all the Reiki and all of the yoga, that shit look fly. They gravitate into the Kemet. But then if you just stay Kemet, I never see them represent the red, white, and the blue that come out of Kemet. They just hate that because that's connected to America too. And they just try to act like Kemet wasn't red, white, and blue. Upper Kemet red, I believe, lower Kemet white, and they war colored blue. When you put them all together and make the United Kingdom, you got the red, the white, and the blue, and you never hear these Negroes talking about it. They ain't printed up one shirt with the Kemetic red, white, and blue eagle on their shit yet. The Aru and all that, they don't want to associate it. They don't even want to attach to Alice Bailey. I ain't gonna get into Alice Bailey. I got a whole video on Dr. Mayat, Oya Mayat, and the Alice Bailey connection. I tried to give y'all a little bit right there. You could go check it out and learn about Alice Bailey, or pull it up, Alice Bailey's 10-point plan. Because it all goes in this free thinker, because she got teachers that come from this group. I'm just laying down this foundation to show y'all that the free thinkers was over there in Germany, had to run up out of there from the clergy that was treating them bad, and they came over to America, landed in Texas Hill, and start formulating on them. And so we moved down the road a little bit. I'm just kind of breezing through this because I'm just laying down little pinpoints on things that y'all should know. So it says, besides being, and I'm right here, we're going to start writing this category here. Besides being well educated, many of the free thinkers had been quite affluent while living in the German states. When they migrated to Texas, they brought with them not only clothes and guns, but books, linen, china, paintings, musical instruments, and especially a new philosophy. As a matter of survival, these intellectuals rapidly engaged in the effort to master the art of pioneer farming. For the endeavors of these, they drew on the expertise of the Comanche and some of the local Mormons, who taught them how to raise the crop best suited for the Texas climate soil, right? So now they're in Texas, and they burying themselves down into the ground, getting ready to set things up and move down. We're gonna go down a little bit, right? Let's gravitate here because now we're getting into the years where I'm taking most notice. So it says in May 1854, the annual state convention of the German signing group called the Singerfest, was held in San Antonio. This convention, instigated and dominated by the freethinkers, drew up numerous resolutions, some of which demanded the laws be enacted to simple and intelligible, and there should be no need for lawyers. The abolish of the grand jury, the abolish of the capital punishment, the abolishing of the temperance laws, that the people be taxed on the level of income, the greater the income, the greater the tax, that there should be no religious instruction in school, and no preachers could be teachers, and the abolish laws respecting Sunday or days of prayer, and abolish the oath as a matter of religious sanction, and the Congress should never be opened by prayer. So in 1954, the Germans is on a major attack on the Bible, working amongst these so-called white folks who, they opening up the Congress with a prayer. They got, preachers in the school teaching, and they just want to destroy this. This ain't working for the free thinker mind, for this scientist, this engineer, this physics. If he was black, we just call him, part of the Army Rock Squad, maybe a comedic. They German though, so they not going to accept them in the group. But nevertheless, we got your ideology laid flat, right? We got the ideology of long before the blacks was free. The blacks wasn't free in 1854, so they wasn't really putting in no work. They wasn't like they wasn't unintelligent or nothing. We had Martin Delaney running around. He damn sure wasn't no free thinker. He wasn't rolling with what this group talking about. If I had to move Sinetta, Polite, all them niggas to 1854 and say, who you rolling with, Martin Delaney or the free thinkers, them Negroes would have to go stroll their ass over there with them free thinkers, because you damn sure wouldn't be over here with these black nationalists pushing this Christian program at all. With that bullshit, you'd have to get your ass on up out of here and go over there with them free thinkers with your science. Not that it's nothing wrong with science or anything wrong with engineering, but see, when Booker T dropped down the STEM program, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, he built the damn church on his grounds. He wasn't getting rid of God to lay down science and engineering, right? But the free thinkers, they dig the church up and blow it up with a bomb and get rid of that. They don't want that. That sounds like Sinetta to me. He would have loved them. He'd have been over there like, man, I love these white folks. They think just like me. They looked at you like, man, we like you too, right? So now, back on Sinetta, since I mentioned his name. What he did was open a can of worms when he tried to go big and go get Harry Rosenberg. Everybody's seen that video of Harry Rosenberg go viral on the internet, right? I think it was Carl Albert was the first person to contact him. Next up was Zion Lex, because he's an Old Testament Hebrew who can't comprehend the New Testament, and he's still looking for a Jesus because he know one got to come, but he don't know which one it is, he told me. But nevertheless, he's still working with the Bible in some aspects, so he still got some foundation that he can gain up on. But for Sinetta, it's, oh no, it's attack on the Bible. So imagine the Satanists watching Sinetta TV, how they just getting a kick out of these black Satanists that don't want to recognize that they're Satanists. In no capacity do they want to relate themselves to Satanists. But Satanists, they not fooled. They like, man, we think just like Sinetta. But Sinetta got the Satanism twisted from the way they got it twisted, because they're using Satanism to destroy the Bible and knock down black folks. and whatever else get in their way. So Sarnetta using it to knock down the Bible, attack all the black people who love the Bible, and then prop up the Jewish Zionists who've been among us our whole time. Since we jumped on a slave ship, they funded the good ship Jesus. Yeah, that's right. Jews funded the good ship Jesus. Named it that because they ain't never been down with no Jesus, black, white, or Mexican Jesus. They not with that. So it was like a slap in the face when they stuck that name on that boat and sent it to Sierra Leone to pick you up. They was laughing at you, pulling up. Here come Jesus. You think that the black folks, they didn't speak English at the time, or Spanish, or whatever types of languages they was talking, but they damn sure know about Jesus, because they know about Timbuktu. They know about the Coptics in Egypt. They know about the Nubian Christians. They know about the Ethiopian Christians that was in their country years ago. And all them black folks knew about the Bible in the various languages that they spoke. And, you know, they got on that boat and came over here. And now it's 1854 and the Germans is in town laying down the free thinking protocols that would soon become the conscious community. It ain't gonna take long. What, 1954 to 2006? 150 years and a few, and boom, you got the conscious community representing the free thinker movement in blackface. That's what y'all doing. That's the foolishness that y'all doing, right? But you ain't gonna learn this from them, because this shit is a nail in the coffin, and they don't want to talk about a nail in the coffin. They gonna keep playing the role till they get up there where we're polite at, and they rolling around Sunshine, California. We getting legal this next year, and Obama's out, and somebody's in, and you know, chilling. So, you know, that's what's happening. That you get in Zionism. Now let's get into this Zionism a little bit, right? Let me see what I pulled up for you. I got a couple of things open, so let me go find something for you on this Zionism. I ain't going deep into it because I got a long ass video on there that y'all definitely need to go check out. And you know, on Zionism by Benjamin Friedman. But just for this video, we got to touch it a little bit, right? So let me get Zionism. We got to do the Schofield. We got to do the Schofield Bible, because you know, if you don't understand how all this shit got built. Now I'm gonna come back because I got to go back to you know, the white boy Satanist that don't have a problem calling himself Satanist, Aleister Crowley, right? Because he got a overall perspective that the conscious community agrees with without necessarily connecting themselves to him, right? But I got to show y'all this real quick before I go there. So the Schofield Bible, it came out like 1909. So first you got John Darby, 1825. John Darby comes on the scene. He started talking dispensationalism. He started talking the rapture theory. He get that popular. Next then, around 1854, as you've seen, the Germans show up. They start talking free thinkers. Zionism has always been around, slowly trying to form. The Jews, the so-called Ashkenazi Jews, whatever you want to kind of Jews you want to call them, they're there. They've been rolling in the game for years. They got the connection with the slavery, got the slavery popping, but they don't got no land, right? So there was this Belford, I think it was called the Belford meeting, where white folks was going to chop up Africa. Dang, y'all, I'm kind of doing this off the cuff. So, let me go pull that up. Belfort, meaning to divide Africa. And we just getting names, dates, times. Belfast, I think it's called. Let's see. Divide up Africa, right? Let's get it. Yeah, the Berlin Conference. That's what we want. So we just write here on quick Wikipedia, right? Now look who's involved. We got the Berlin Conference of 1884 and 85, also known as the Congo Conference, right? The Germans, they involved. And free thinkers, they're there. Or the West African Conference, right? Regulated European colonization and the trade of Africa during the new imperialism period, and the conscious and coincided with the Germans' sudden emergence as an imperial power called by the Portugal and organized by the Otto von Bismarck, first Chancellor of Germany. The free thinkers put this shit together. They about to slice and dice this. They need this. Its outcome, the general act of the Berlin Conference, can be seen as a formalization of the scrambling for Africa. The conference ushered in a period of heightened colonial activity by European powers, which eliminated the overrode most existing forms of African autonomy and self-governance. So you still had a little bit of autonomy out there. White folks ain't just marched all the way across Africa. They never went up inside of Ethiopia, because Ethiopia been working with that Bible from the jump. And when the white folks got there, they let them know off the muscle, we Christians, and y'all have policies that y'all can't attack no Christian nation. They was able to prove that they rocking with the Christian nation, and the white folks said, well, you're right. As well as we don't want to cross that desert. That's a little rough. And thus, they didn't get tampered with like other nations. But nevertheless, I'm just laying down dates so y'all can understand how Zionism, the free thinkers, and all these things that don't like the Bible is under attack as they build their societies and their wealth. So in this breakup of Africa, 1884 to 85, the Jews didn't get none of that land, but they helped put this thing together, right? And they said, look, it's got to be something in it for us. So they're not going to collect their stake just yet. Later on, their stake is going to be Israel, right? So, that was the colony. So now we just seen 1884, they do the breakup. Now we get to this Bible because they had to release this Bible. And this Bible is going to change the perspective of the Christians to give them a Zionist perspective that we call Christian Zionists, which in like 1967 was going to be a group of Hebrew Israelites who was going to migrate to West Africa and then work their way on over to Israel and go fight over there in the Israeli army today and call themselves, we following, God told us this is our land. But I read y'all Luke 17 and 20 that God's kingdom is not going to be observed because it's internal. The kingdom of God is within you. You are the temple of God. The Spirit dwells within inside of you. The way to get in there is to meditate or to pray. If you want to access this kingdom, what you going to pray on? You're going to meditate on the word of God. The words spoken by all the prophets. The word that's operating on the planet in everything that we read. And the Bible always got its haters. They call them free thinkers. So here, let's break this down a little bit so you can understand what was going on with the Zionist created Schofield Bible. The source of the problem in the Middle East, or the Mid-East, part 2, why Judeo-Christians support war. Now, the war is going to get them the country. So it says the French author Alexis, and I cannot read these names, but I'll do my best. De Tocqueville wrote Democracy in America when he traveled here in the first and third of the 19th century, and the ringing tones he sang in praise of the Americans' invulnerable strength and spirit. He attributed his greatness to the citizens' sense of morality. Even with the abundant church attendance he observed in America, and I'll just call him DeVille, wrote in French, and is credited with the familiar quote, "America is great because she is good, and if America ever ceases to be good, she will cease to be great," right? And it says, DeVille could see the power of America, but he could not have known in 1830 that she would soon be under attack aimed at the churches and the very sense of morality that he extolled. First, there was the war between the states, which scared the powerful young nation in its strapping youth. And worst attack on the Americans was the commerce near the turn of the 20th century. This was one of the onsets of the attack on American Christianity that would continue unabated against the traditional Christ-following church. This attack, which author Gordon Ginn calls the final apostasy, which began with a small, very wealthy, and determined European political movement, right? A very wealthy and determined European political movement. It had a dream, and the American churches stood in its way. So this very wealthy and determined European political movement had a dream, and what's in the way? The church. The church is in the way. Okay. The World Zionist Movement. It's a Jewish funders, called themselves, had plans to acquire a homeland for all Jews worldwide, even though most were far from homeless, and many did not want another home. Not any land would do. World Zionists wanted a specific property that Americans called the Holy Land. But if these Zionists read Democracy in America or any of the journals of the American churches, which no doubt they did, they could not help but know that Jerusalem was not theirs to have. As self-proclaimed Jews, they were, according to the Christian New Testament, the prosecutor of Christ and most of his early followers and the engineers of his crucifixion. America's traditional churches in the late 19th century would never stand for a Jewish occupation of Jesus' homeland. So, at the turn of the century, the white folk Christians knew enough about the Bible that they knew that the Jews crucified Jesus. And it ain't no way they gonna get the homeland. See, you got to remember, these are Germans from the European area who are very sophisticated, got a lot of money, and they're determined. So, since the church is in the way, and they really don't have the power to just go muscle up the church, you got to change the way they think. And how do they change the way you think? They teach your kids. They don't got to change you because you're too old and grumpy and you ain't going to change. But we could teach your kids a different way to think. we could change the outcome of the future. And so at this particular time, white folks sent all their kids to learn the Bible. For sure, for sure. You're going to learn some of this Bible back at that time. Now, that don't mean that the white folks is all that good and following the Bible and being fair to black people. We ain't even talking about that. Blacks at this particular stage are irrelevant. They over there working in Tuskegee and doing what they doing, but they ain't posing a threat to this particular group because they don't have any control over economics in America. So they not the threat because they're not the control. Their church ain't that big to stop this movement. So they have to deal with these white folks. So they come up with a Bible, a Christian Bible called the C.I. Scofield Reference Bible. Y'all can really check this Bible out if y'all into, I follow preterism. You can go over there to William Bell, All Things Fulfilled, and type it in, Zionism and the C.I. Scofield Bible. We spent a whole week talking about this subject in more depth in relationship to the history of these things and the connection to this Bible. I'm just going a little brief in this video because I'm all over the place. And, that's what it is. It's late night. It's like, I don't know, 1 a.m. out here in the dirty. Okay, so let's get back to this. Let's get back home, connecting these dots a little bit and letting y'all understand how these Eastern Europeans that we call Jews then came over here, and these Germans then came over here, and they then chopped up Africa, and the Jews ain't get none of that. I don't think there's one place in Africa right now that is speaking Yiddish as a national language. I don't think it's one. Nevertheless, the Jews gonna get theirs because they got the most determination to make change. They got the most determination to be the leaders. And they not even, powerful in the aspect of guns and bombs. They don't really operate like that. That's why Sinetta got that damn camera sitting on his stool and he don't know what to do because he don't know who run this shit. Jews run cameras in this country. That's just what it is. You feel what I'm saying? It's just what it is. It ain't nothing about hating the Jews in that aspect because they did their thing. It's about understanding what happened, how you got tricked out your money so you don't get tricked out your money again, right? For the second round. You won't fall for the same trick twice. So here you go. You got the Jews coming in. They get with this Bible. They put this Bible. So it says the scheme was to alter the Christian view of Zionism by creating and promoting a pro-Zionist subculture within Christianity. The Christian Zionists. Man, these dudes is good. Boy, these dudes is good. Okay. Scofield's role was to rewrite the King James Version of the Bible by inserting Zionist friendly notes in the margins. So, he just put it in the margin. You read that little margin and tell you, go to this verse. Go ahead, write little notes, changing your mind. Changing your child mind, because you too old to change. The old dog don't want to learn new tricks. We'll teach your kids. We ain't stripping. Same thing happened to the black people. We allowed the white people to teach our kids. There comes integration. But nevertheless, let's keep going. Right? So it says the margins between verses and chapters, and on the bottom of the pages, the Oxford University Press used Schofield as a pastor by then as the editor, probably because it needed such a man for a front. The Revised Bible was called the Schofield Reference Bible. And with limitless advertising and promotion, it became a best-selling Bible in America, has remained so for 90 years. Right? Y'all might want to, you're into the Bible, you might want to go find one and look at them side notes. So you can understand that in 1909, boom, this Bible hit the scene, and without no promotion, boom, best-selling book. I wonder how they do that, right? This is real stuff, people. This is just what it is. But, you know, somebody with the intellect that y'all give so much credit to, of Polite, who runs and do all kind of study and connect all kind of dots and masters the dictionary and spits all kind of big words on y'all and got a, you know, some pretty little wives and fresh clothes and shit. Can't find this little simple ass page so he can connect the dot. He can't find it because it's not in him to find it. He doesn't want to research nothing that'll promote the Bible or give you a breakdown on what's really going on. So he sit there with the Zionists talking about, why don't we come together and talk about how Pan-Africanism and Zionism can connect? What the hell are you talking about? We both got the same aim, to build up those that we group with to be stronger economically and culturally. We ain't going in the same direction. We got different aim. We got a different direction. And it just won't work. So I want to read this part because it's connected back to John Nelson Darby that I told you. But Schofield imitated the chain of past heretics and rapturists, most of whose credibility fizzled over their faulty end-time prophecies, right? These faulty end-time prophecies that all the churches are preaching about. End-time prophecies is some stuff that's going to take place in the past that's pissing off those that love Kemet and hate the Bible, and they're bashing it because they're listening to these Christian Zionists who do not identify with being Zionists. They just say, I'm a Christian, but you're preaching that you're waiting on Jesus, and so you taking on this Zionist concept that was really never in the church. That was just really coming from Darby in 1825. In 1825, David Walker was an abolitionist, about to take off on these white folks with the Bible, inspired and the bringing of a Nat Turner, who wasn't waiting on no Jesus. He was waiting on gunpowder so he could take off on these white folks with this Bible, giving him the energy and the strength to meet his fate on the battlefield. That's just what it is. The movie coming out, y'all gonna hate the Bible that month, all month. You ain't gonna know what to say because you're gonna love the movie, but he was a Hebrew Israelite. You're gonna start running with all type of nonsense when it's clear as day what's going on, right? Ain't nobody waiting on Jesus. The Bible said Jesus will return and destroy the temple. Look it up. Luke 21, verse 20 through 23. Tell me what year that happened. Nevertheless, right? So I'm going to finish reading this. Schofield imitated the chain of past heretics and rapturists, most of whose credibility fizzled over the faulty end-time prophecies. His mentor was one John Nelson Darby from Scotland, who was associated with the Plymouth Brothers and who made no less than 6 evangelist trips to the U.S. selling what is today called Darbyism. It is from Darby that Schofield is thought to have learned his Christian Zionist theology, which he later planted in the footnotes of the Schofield Reference Bible. It is possible that the Schofield interest in Darbyism was shared by the Oxford University Press, for Darby was known to Oxford University. A History of the Plymouth Brethren by William Blair, Netby. That's how it goes down. Darby comes in town from Scotland. He lays down the rapture theory and dispensationalism. G. Conscious picked up on that and he running with it. but he won't identify himself with John Darby. They don't want to be connected to no white folks. It looks bad for consciousness. But the truth is what the truth is. And you got to recognize the truth wherever you find the truth. It's just how we go, right? So now we done connected that. We done put John Darby with Schofield. We done pulled out the African chopping up Africa with the Germans. I done show you that the Germans are the free thinkers that want to roll with the engineering, physics, and science and all of that. They the white version of the Kemet, of the modern day Kemet. Boom. What's his name? Dr. Ben. The white version of the same shit that they gonna be talking about. But he gonna give it the black touch, make it a little more fly. Put a little pizzazz on that shit so black folks will pick it up. Because right now, we don't give a damn about no Kemet in 1909 and 1884. We ain't repping that. We know about it. We know about it. But we ain't repping that. We over there lining up, about to go make Black Wall Street pop. We ain't over there putting unks on the buildings. We building churches in Black Wall Street. That's what we doing. We shutting it down. We got the separate but equal laws. So we gonna go over here and be separate and get equal. White folks say, you know what? That's not a good idea. Not just any old white folk, but Jews. They don't want black folks to run off on their own and start making empires without them. So they're gonna come on over there. And they're going to connect them dots. So now we got that phase, right? Man, I can just go all day. I don't even know which direction I'll be wanting to go because it's just 1,000 things that I can go in on. So let's talk about the Niagara movement. Niagara movement, right? Hold on one second. Let's get this stuff. All right, 1905 to 1909. We had blackpast.org, right? I'm just pulling up. I got all this stuff in files, but like I said, man, I'm just free flowing. Somebody asked me to touch on these subjects. I wasn't really tripping. I thought about it. I said, okay, I'm going to say something. Let's look at this picture, right? This is the Niagara Movement annual meeting in Boston in 1907. Image, right? I don't know if y'all can really see these people, but let's get on in there. You see who's sitting right there in the dead front with his pimp hat on? There's some good looking black folks. All of them educated. All of them is what you would call pre-NAACP. That's who you're looking at. Pre-NAACP. That's who they are. NAACP ain't in the game yet. There's your boy sitting down in front, W.D. Du Bois. He heading this movement. All these black folks is pretty much solid black folks. They not quite understanding what's about to happen to them. But a major change is about to take place, right? So let's read a little bit about them. The Harlem movement was a civil rights group. Civil rights, that's code word. That's code word. Whenever you see the civil rights, that's code word for integration. Integration is going down. Don't nobody try to tell me that W.D. Du Bois was on some black power when you connected to civil rights in the aspect of power. For black folks to be a self-determining group, you cannot be for civil rights, because civil rights is not specific. If you was for black rights, I might could deal with that. But when you for civil rights, that's determining all kind of people. All kind of people benefit for the fight for civil rights. There's nothing wrong with having a civil rights, but you can't get behind that and make that appear to be for black folks, when the reality is that that is for everybody. But everybody ain't going through slavery. Everybody ain't getting hung from trees and bit by dogs and beat up by cops and shot by cops. Everybody ain't going through this shit. So what you gonna do for the people who are? Can we label that shit a little bit more narrow? So I know you talking about me and my group, and say, let's be for black rights. So we could be specific about when some shit get handed out, who it go to. You don't like the word black? Let's be for the Moor, whatever we gonna call ourselves, African Americans, Moors, Muslims, I don't care. Just long as we specify the group and then recognize that group. And I got something coming about names and what they mean. I told y'all earlier that names are terms. They are legal terms. Now there is a bigger meaning to them in the aspect of history. But when you get over here to America and you start identifying people, you are talking legalities. And these words got meanings in the courtroom of law, and you better know how to identify yourself when it comes to what they handing out based on what you call yourself. Because if you call yourself the wrong thing, you're going to get the wrong thing. But let's get into this a little bit. I'm just ranting a little bit, y'all. Don't trip. This is a rare moment for the pit boss. But nevertheless, the Niagara movement was a civil rights group organized by W.D. Du Bois and William Monroe Trotter in 1905. See, in 1905, they probably had like some real good reasoning for this stuff they was trying to do. But after being denied admittance into a hotels in Buffalo, New York, the group of 29 business owners, teachers, and clergy who comprised of the initial meeting gathered at Niagara Falls, from which the group name derives. The principle behind the Niagara movement was largely to opposition to Booker T. Washington's philosophy of accommodationist. Now that's another code word, what we call double speak. Shit when you say shit that don't mean shit. Because they want to claim that Booker T was accommodationist. That's this group's claim and identification of Booker T. But Booker T ain't calling himself accommodationist. Booker T said, we could be on social issues as separate as the finger, and one as the hand on the benefits of things that interest both groups. You don't have a problem being separate from you if we truly could be equal in the ways that we deal with things in life. Who don't want that today? Who don't want to be separate from white folks so you don't get shot, but have equality with them in the things you do in social life, in legal life? You don't want that though, right? Because you hating on the Bible. So you hating on your own history. You don't want to read it because you hate the Bible, and it's built in the Bible. You can't cover nothing on none of these pages before you don't run across the Bible involved. That's what it is. And you just got to accept it if you ever really want to learn how to speak the truth. Because if you don't speak it as it is, you're gonna find a way to add your free thinking into it. And then they're going to put cameras on your goddamn block and get ready to shut your ass down. Because it's not a game. And ain't nobody really tripping on YouTube channels when they got networks out there. They'll shut that shit down. But, you know, you can work your way through it. Y'all grown men. So it says, I want to read that again. The principle behind the Niagara movement were largely in opposition to Booker T. Washington. Now, this group is the NAACP, the free thinkers and the cohorts, some of them Christians. You know, you got people on every side doing different things, thinking in different ways. But the leader is an atheist, for sure, for sure. And he's also a liberal arts major. All these people kind of focused in the realm of liberal arts. They want to be intellectuals. They came out of what is known as the talented 10th. They wasn't talking that, give me a vocational skill. They was talking about, no. I want to get a fresh degree from Fisk. I want to go to Yale University and Harvard and the rest of that, right? Well, when you go look up all the people in this group, the same way I had y'all go look up all the people in the Pan-African Conference, I want you to look up everybody that joined the Niagara movement. And I want you to find out what type of colleges they went to and what kind of educations that they had. So you can start to understand the framework of the mentality that's about to bring a divide in Black society. And what kind of education leads you one way in the free thinking, and another one that leads you in another direction. So here we go. Move on a little bit more, right? So let's just, I'm skipping through stuff because, I'll cover this stuff in more detail. If y'all type something in there and you want me to go in on something, I can really go in. Today, I'm just free flowing. I didn't even know I was going to pull this page up. But it says the Niagara movement attempted to bring about legal change addressing the issues of crime, economics, religion, health, and education. The movement stood apart from other Black organizations at the time because of its powerful, unequivocal demand for equal rights. The Niagara movement was forcefully demanded equal economics and educational opportunities, as well as the vote for Black men and women. Members of the Niagara movement sent a powerful message to the entire country through their condemnation of racial discrimination and all their calls to end to segregation. So when you want to end segregation, there's only one other alternative you could be fighting for: integration. If you want to end segregation, the only other thing you got is integration. So here's your first integration civil rights organization. So that's why they're against Booker T. That's why he wrote the book, The Souls of Black Folks, that old debunked pseudo book that they love. When you go to college, they force you to read that book. They don't make you read The Builder of a Civilization by Emmett Scott. They don't make you read Up from Slavery. They make you read that book, The Souls of Black Folks, because they got to get in your head integration. And this is their #1 group. This is the group Joel Spingard gonna come over to. Let's get down to this last paragraph because I already see it coming. The Niagara movement was met annually in 1908. Don't forget that the Schofield Bible is coming out that following year in 1909. In that year, a major race riot broke out in Springfield, Illinois. 8 Blacks were killed and over 2,000 African Americans fled the city. Symbolically important because it was the first Northern race riot in 4 decades, and because it was the hometown of Abraham Lincoln. Black and white activists, including members of the Niagara movement, felt a new, more powerful interracial organization was now needed and combat racism. Out of this concern, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP, was formed. The Niagara movement was considered the precursor of the NAACP, and many of its members, such as W.D. Du Bois, were among the new organization founders. There you go. There goes your civil rights group. Here it comes. It started all the way back in 1905 with this group of people right here, right? Let me blow that up, see how big I can get that. Let y'all, get a little. Of course, y'all can go yourself. This is blackpast.org. You can read along with me, get deep into it, do what you do, right? I'm just pointing out some simple stuff so y'all can feel the flow and understand that them dudes ain't never gonna tell you about this. They hate this. But I'm just flowing off the cuff. I cover all this stuff in my group, but my group ain't that big. My views ain't going that far. I might get a couple hundred views on this video. Y'all ain't gonna post it nowhere and pass it. Maybe you will. Y'all definitely ain't gonna send me no donation. But nevertheless, we do this shit because we growing, right? I'm not really tripping. Somebody asked me to do this today. Otherwise, I'll be kicking back, watching the movie, relaxing. But that's how it gets down. This is the building of hating on Booker T, coming in with Zionism, breaking out the Schofield Bible, getting ready to push this Zionism, marching up to the World War II. We about to run over here on Hitler. Y'all do not want me to get into Hitler and the Holocaust and that bullshit that the Zionism is running, because all along the Zionists are trying to create this war because they need to get offered some land of their own. You know, Israel don't get formed to 1948, y'all. A lot got to happen. It's only 1909, and the master skilled political wing of the Jewish people going by the name of the Zionists are in action. Them some bad dudes. Bad to the bone. They know what they're doing. They're free thinkers. For sure, for sure. They got education. For sure, for sure. They got discipline. And amazingly, people of the same culture, same parents, same upbringing are totally against this group. So I'm not putting it on the people of this group that got to all be bad, because some of them people, they not really down with that Zionist program, though they come from the same place, got the same upbringing. Same way with the black folks. You got the Kemetic blacks, you got the Christian blacks, you got all kind of blacks. They all think different. All of us came from the same background, but we all don't think alike. Same thing with every group and every culture. Everybody don't think alike. Some of them is going to expose it. That's why I put up Benjamin Friedman, because he was one of them. He's so raw the way he get down on that video. If y'all ain't heard it, you know, after this one or tomorrow when you decide you're going to get on YouTube, come back on there and watch that video again. I threw in certain types of little clips on it with little phrases because I wanted y'all to hear what he was saying, and I wanted y'all to peep who following what, who's in alignment to what. You know what I'm saying? And what position do they play in society? So y'all can understand that this is simple. That you got the science community, the free thinkers, versus the Christians or the Hebrew Israelites or anybody riding with that Bible. And I'm just talking amongst the blacks currently today. Now, they putting the pressure on the conscious community on 125th Street. You know, we dropped the video. Me and Carl Albert went in on gentrification of 125th Street, laid it down for y'all. Was like, look, y'all think it's a game. Y'all don't know the history of these people. These people is masters of the universe in the physical realm. And they hate the metaphysical realm power with a passion. They can't stand it. They like that Bible is in the way, right? That's how they get down. So, man, beating up on this unconscious, delusional community. This ain't even one of my thoroughest presentations. I'm just really just dropping some shit. Let's go to Aleister Crowley, because you just don't ever hear about this dude, man. Like, how can you not talk about Aleister Crowley? So he's pseudo-Kemetic, all right? Yeah, whatever. Aleister Crowley, look, we got to get in it, because y'all going to get this work. God damn it. This is him. Y'all don't want me to tell you that he might be related to Barbara Bush. I ain't gonna go there on this one. I just want y'all to see I just want, we focusing on Pan-Africanism, Zionism, the conscious community, the Hebrew Israelites, all of that concept that's raveling on YouTube right now with a bunch of delusionals who just straight for whatever personal gain they getting is pushing this shit. This shit was laid so cold in the 19th century before you niggas was born that you can't reinvent this. You can't, no. This shit is etched in stone. So here we got Mr. Aleister Crowley, born Edward Alexander Crowley, 1875, right? Till December 1947. 1875, 10 years later, they chopping up Africa. Aleister Crowley goes to Kemet. He learns about 9 ether, 6 ether, 11 ether. He learns about 666. He reads the walls of Kemet. He comes home, creates Thelema, Wicca, all type of shit. And y'all think he a fraud. He writes the book of the law. Every rock star ever born read the lyrics in their songs. They praise him like a god. Know thyself. He ran with that. Come on, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. We don't even want to deal with all of that. Ooh, the Golden Dawn, 1898 to 99. Ooh, you don't want to know about the Golden Dawn? I ain't never heard of that. Let's get it. In August 1898, this is another 10 years after they chopped up Africa. Crowley was in Zermatt, Switzerland, where he met a chemist, Julia Baker, and the two began discussing their common interest in alchemy. You know, all you girls, all you black girls, ain't nothing wrong with alchemy. You know, y'all do what you do. I damn sure ain't mad at the Kemetic girls. It's all good. I just want y'all to understand that, you know, y'all ain't talking nothing new. Not to no white folks. Just know this. Back in London, Baker introduced Crowley to the Georgia Cecil Jones, Baker's brother-in-law, and a fellow member of an occult society known as the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Let's get it. Which had been founded in 1888, right? A couple years later, after them German free thinkers been working their magic, boy, they done got with the program, right? Oh, don't nobody hate the Bible more than Aleister Crowley, right? Crowley was initiated into the order of the Order of the Golden Dawn on the 18th of November, 1898, by the group leader Samuel Liddon McGregor Mathers. The ceremony took place in the Golden Dawn Isis Uranus Temple held in London, Mark Mason Hall, where Crowley took the magical motto and the name Father Perduable, which he interpreted as I shall endure to the end. Biographers Richard Spence and Timothy Churchton have suggested that Crowley joined the order under the command of the British Secret Service and monitored activities of Mathers, who is known to be a Carlist. Woo! I'm going to have to get into that word. That's a new one for me. Now, he was ordered by the British Secret Service, commanded by them. That don't necessarily mean he was one, but he was damn sure working for them. And they say, go over there and monitor that dude. That dude is outrageous, right? Okay. So we got the basics on that, right? And what I'm trying to get into is this book right here. The Book of the Law, 1904. In 1905, the Niagara Movement is going to be born. But in 1904, Aleister Crowley. In February 1904, Crowley and Rose arrived in Cairo, Egypt. How many of y'all been there? You don't know nothing about it unless you've been there. And how was there in 1904? Where was Dr. Ben in 1904? I don't think he was nowhere. He was in the fourth dimension. All right. So now, claiming to be a prince and a princess, they rented an apartment in which Crowley set up a temple room and began invoking ancient Egyptian deities while studying Islamic mysticism and Arabic. According to Crowley's later account, Rose regularly became delirious and informed him that they are waiting for you. On March 18th, she explained that they were the gods of Horus. And on March 20th, proclaimed that the equinox of the god had come. She led him to a nearby museum where she showed him the 7th century BCE Mutri stela, known as the Stela of Ankh and Khonsu. Khonsu. Don't we got a guy named Khonsu in the conscious community? Sure do. Crowley thought it was important to exhibit numbers was 666, the number of the beast in Christian belief. And in later years turned the artifact as the Stela of Revealing, right? So here we got in 1904, Crowley goes to Egypt, claiming to be a prince and a princess, studying Islamic mysticism and Arabic. Get a call from the god of Horus, and he starts studying. He started getting into it, right? So on the 8th of April, he heard a disembodied voice that claimed to be the thought of Awas, the messenger of Horus, or Horpar Karat. I don't know how to say these words. It's all right though. Crowley said that he wrote down everything the voice told him over the course of the next 3 days and titled it Liber el vel Legas, or the Book of the Law. Oh yeah. The book proclaimed that humanity was entering a new eon and that Crowley would serve as its prophet. So he was a prophet sent by Horus, who wrote the Book of the Law. This is where the pseudo part is, right? This is how come he's pseudo, because y'all like, hey, none of that shit happened. That's all fiction. That fiction turned into Thelema. That fiction turned into the tarot cards. That fiction turned into Alice Bailey and the 10-point plan in 1950. That 10-point plan turned into legalizing homosexuality in 2015 through Obama. But it ain't real, right? Okay. That's what y'all say. How would I know? I don't know. Look at Crowley back in the day. I seen this picture. Look at this dude. He wasn't no joke. He's sitting there butt naked in a pool of water on a K2 expedition. I don't know what's going on with his face, but it damn sure ain't the color of his body. And his whiskers look like some dragon shit. That boy, man, he wasn't playing. Right? So, you know, go pull up Aleister Crowley on Wikipedia. You know, go down here and hit on a couple of these links. They got 1,000 links going on up in here. You know what I'm saying? Verification. So you always like sources act like, you know, Wikipedia is some bullshit. And they done link the page with all types of sources. So go over there and hit some of this. External links. Works by Aleister Crowley. Works by or about Aleister Crowley in the Internet Archive. Works by Aleister Crowley collections. Man, they got all kind of source documentation. This is the new learning. You can like it or hate it. This is the symbol for Thelema. Right there. When you see that, you know, you got some pyramids going on. They'll be like, you know, that's upper, that's lower, that's black magic, that's white magic, blah, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. right? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-pointed star. You got all kind of stuff going in there, right? 1, 2, 3, 5. 5 petals on the leaf in the middle or the flower in the middle. All that means something. Y'all can get into that, right? Okay, so we've been rolling with a little bit of stuff. I haven't checked. Let me go check the thing. Y'all might have wrote something. Let me see. Let me go find out. Where is that page? We got so much stuff going on. We didn't cover here, right? Look, somebody going to sleep. Lee King, go to sleep, man, because this is a late night show. I am sitting here chilling. What's up with you, David World? Good show, bro. I gotta sleep now, but I will catch rest when you upload. Okay, that's what's happening. I got a couple people watching. It's all to the good. 8 folks. I need some more water, so I'm gonna play my little music on y'all, and I'm gonna come right back. Right? I'll leave y'all looking at my my logo or something. Right? Let me get a little music cracking. I'll be right back. It'll be like 2 minutes. Oops. Okay. Oh man, I can't play both of these. Yeah, I'll be right back on y'all. All right. Let's get back at it. This is long, man. I don't know. It might be ready to shut down in a minute. Uh-oh. I got all types of shit. Hold on. Boom. What it do? We back. Now y'all seeing all my gadgets, huh? While I flip through this thing. Okay. So we left off here on Aleister Crowley. We locking Aleister Crowley. I'm going to get into a wrap up, y'all, because I know I'm kind of making y'all tired. A little sleepy. It's 2:16 in the morning for me. Let me go look and see what's happening with y'all real quick. Make sure y'all still with me. Give me a second. I'm going to wrap this stuff up. Just kind of line it up. Close it out, right? I still got 7 watching, so that's cool. I'll finish it out. Maybe Lee King will wake up and catch up. Okay, so let's get back to Aleister Crowley, right? Now remember, in a quick wrap up, I'll knock this out in about 10 minutes and just bring y'all through the flow, just in case y'all just kind of caught on a little late for the latecomers. What we're doing is we're showing a breakdown on how Zionism came into the game, free thinkers came into the game, Christianity is in the way, all that type of stuff, and who's involved, what players are involved. We done went from Germans coming from Germany around 1850, going in. We already know about Martin Delany and people on the black side, right? We move into 1880. Booker T goes down to Tuskegee, Alabama, sets up Tuskegee College. He's building a STEM program for black folks with the Christian foundation to it, right? From 1880 to about 1885, 86, you got folks over there in the Congo Conference or the Belfast Conference, and they chopping up Africa. They about to get in here and colonialize this shit and get to this money and get these diamonds and this gold and this coltan so they can make what they trying to do. Then we moving into about 1875. Oh, well, that's when he was born. My bad. Okay. So we moving into like 1805 or 18, where was that at? Age of Golden Dawn, 1898. You got Aleister Crowley joining up with the Golden Dawn. He gonna go to Cairo in about 6 years later. But in 1900, you got the Pan-African Conference going down in London. A little bit after that, in 1904, you got the Niagara movement that's created, your civil rights precursor, your NAACP precursor, who they hate, Booker T. Washington. What he talking about? Black nationalism, separatism, segregation. What they talking about in the Niagara movement? Integration. Is it formulating for you yet? Are you starting to see that somebody that hoodwinked you if you think for certain that Marcus Garvey is the father of Pan-Africanism? I love Marcus Garvey. I love everything he did and what he did. But he sure wasn't at this conference. He sure wasn't the person that W.D. Du Bois was worried about in 1904. Now let's move down this road. Let's move down this road. We had 1904. We got the Niagara movement going up against the Booker T. Washington machine, right? Next up, 1909. You got the formulation of the NAACP. You know, they shut down the Niagara movement and they all move over there. You got Joel Spingard backing that up with the Rockefellers, right? By 1915, Booker T. Washington is dead. The legacy is over. Emmett Scott writes the book, The Builder of a Civilization, not the builder of an integration, not the building of a city block, not the black sovereignty plan. No, the builder of a civilization. That's what he's doing over there in that Pan-African flow, building civilizations. Long before Marcus Garvey could get off the banana boat, Booker T is dead, and his secretary is writing a book named The Builder of a Civilization, based on his observation of what just went down. And then you got Booker T and the NAACP ready to tear it down. They don't want to build a civilization. They want to build integration into a civilization that's already operating Zionism for oppression. And here we go. Jumped off the banana boat, Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey coming in town looking for Booker T, but Booker T dead. So what do you got to do? Well, Go holler at W.D. Du Bois. So he mosey on down over there, and bam, he don't like what he see. Ain't nothing but white folks up in here, or Jews. So he dip up out of there, boom. He go get with the organization he already got, the UNIA. He done built that, the framework that like Tuskegee College. And he lays down a Christian format on top of that, because you can't operate this at a magnitude bad enough to stop the Zionists. If it ain't Christianity, the Zionists ain't worried about that shit. That shit weak. They ain't attacking Islam. That shit weak. They're attacking Christianity because that shit's too strong. They got to break that down a little bit. So now we move forward. We get to 19. Where we want to go from here? We can go anywhere. We got the Harlem Renaissance, and that's building up there in Harlem. We dealing with Harlem right now, 125th Street, the gentrification program, the delusional people who live on 125th Street. So we can go to 125th Street back in 1925. It's the same thing. It's the same group of people. It's the same concept. But back then, you know, we didn't really understand what the hell was going on. So you can't knock them as hard as you could knock people today who got all this history to observe, but don't want to observe it correctly because they got an agenda to bash the Bible and sit around with Zionists to act like, how can we come together? You only gonna come together with the Comedics because they down with that shit. They talking about they down for black power. I'm black power. Red, black, and green. Fuck that Bible. What? The Bible is what they was trying to destroy. And the Bible is what Booker T was working with, but W.B. Du Bois wasn't. Do you want me to go check up on Joel Spongard and tell you what his belief system was? I promise you he wasn't down with Booker T. Washington. Once you figure out what his belief system is, you're going to find out he's a damn Zionist. That's backing up the NAACP. Because they pushing, boy, they looking for to get that homeland. But the white folks, they like, hell no, we're not letting no Jews have Jesus' homeland. You got to be crazy. We won't do it. There must have been some all right white folks at the time. How you gonna hate on what the history is? White folks wasn't letting Jews have Israel. Point blank, period. But the damn Jews, man, they masters of the grand chessboard. Berlinski, what's his name? Brzezinski. Probably he's a German Jew. He was a bad man. So you can't take away from who got the game, man, who really know what they talking about, who just talking. You feel me? You can't be worried about what color they are. You got to know what they talking about. What you talking about, is that solid? Am I going to make it somewhere off this? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so here we go. We're moving out them 20s. We're going to get to the 30s. You know what I'm saying? They invade Marcus Garvey. They twisting with what's his name? James Wormley goes in, infiltrates the organization. Boom, Booker T's out of here, right? Booker T dies. We falling into the 40s. Guess what? Guess what's happening in the 40s? Oh, shit. I just thought of something. Y'all might be up for another half hour because I just came up on the Hollywood 10. Some more shit y'all don't know nothing about. Some more shit. Brother Polite. What up, Brother Polite? Don't know nothing about it. Hollywood 10. Why am I writing in Polite? I'm not looking for Polite. Ooh, the Hollywood 10 in 1940s. 1940s. Let's see what we find. Let's see what we find. The Hollywood Blacklist. Hollywood 10 Cold War. Woo, that looked like a hit rock. Let's get on it. All right. Y'all get ready for this shit. What's all this? Damn. Oh, yeah. Let's see, the tactic, employment, and housing. Hold on. That ain't quite what I'm looking for. Let's go back. Let's go back to the goddamn Wikipedia. You can always count on it for a starter point. Wikipedia is going to be the shit, y'all. If you don't like Wikipedia and you call yourself some type of intellectual, you need to be on this damn thing debunking it and getting your name credited on it so that when we look shit up, we can see that your name is there and we can trust the information. That you didn't co-opt us with the Zionists to get your name on there. So here we go. We're talking about some Jews. Some Jews. Look at them. They're Zionists. You understand? And they write movies. They control the media, the mind, Hollywood, magic. And they're labeled communists because Zionism is connected to communism. Communism is connected to socialism. Socialism is connected to the Black Panthers of the 60s, but we ain't there yet. Slow up. We still in the 40s, right? This article is a political blacklist in the 1940s and the 50s. For the 50s short documentary film about this, go watch the Hollywood 10. Boy, you better watch that movie. Got some good actors. You know, it's a good movie. So let's get into it, right? So it says, the Hollywood blacklist, as a border entertainment industry blacklist, is generally known and was practiced of denying employment to screenwriters, actors, directors, and musicians, right? Blah, blah, blah. Having communist ties or sympathies. That's what's happening here. The Communist Party of the USA. That's what I'm trying to show you what's going on in the 40s. The Communist Party, under the ideologies of the Jewish people, they were under attack. They was getting blacklisted left and right, thrown up out of there. You better not talk about nothing. And it lasted a whole decade. They wouldn't get no gratification until the late 1950s. It says through the late 1950s, the blacklist was rarely made explicit or verifiable. But the direct damage in the careers of the scores of individuals working in the film industry, right? So now, after this blacklist is over with, man, guess who on the scene? Dr. Ben. What is Dr. Ben talking about? Why do you believe in that Bible? Get rid of that Bible. And Dr. Ben laying on the scene, he starts slowly chiming in. He is considered Sarah Sutanseti's grand wizard, his master teacher. He link up with Dr. Henrik Clark and some more. And they start pushing that Kemetic ideology that will be soon to become known Young Pharaoh and Polite and Sarah Sunseti and Brother and Sarnetta and all of these delusional people who think they smart as hell, but they ain't gonna tell you about none of this shit. Please believe it. All right. And I'm just flowing, man. I'm just having a little fun. We ain't tripping. It ain't really no hating on nobody. I'm trying to point it out to them. Maybe they might watch this, talk about this a little bit, pass it along or something, and then go look up what I'm talking about and get that damn camera off your corner, Sonetta, because they coming and they got a certain method and methodology that they do when they want to shut some shit down. But they're not worried about you because you are delusionally pushing Zionism by default. You are pushing Aleister Crowley by default. You are pushing Alice Bailey by default. So they ain't worried about you. You on their team. That's what it is. Because if you get black folks to want to hate the Bible, damn it, they've been trying that shit since the 1880s. They couldn't figure out how to do it. And here you come along, do it for them. They ain't got to pressure you to do it. They is rolling in a goddamn chair. They love this shit. They sitting back trying to figure out how many you could fool to be a damn fool and get away from the rock of salvation. Boy, you better stop it. Keep going and you're going to see. The force that's put that camera on top of your table. Who put that there, Sonetta? Figure out who put that there. I know you see the police symbol on that shit, but that ain't who put that there. That's the symbol, but that ain't who put that there. You need to figure out who told the police to put a camera on that corner and why. Just so they could watch you talk about some bullshit. They not worried about that shit. This shit bigger than you. This shit bigger than consciousness community. This shit going on outside of New York. That's being affected. I don't know why they put that camera on your corner, but it's there. And guess what? It ain't going nowhere. Boy, you better figure it out. Because if you get in the van and ride up and down that highway, oh man, it's too easy to get you in. You're in the middle of nowhere. All right, so we wrapping this shit up. We almost through this thing. We dealing with the blacklist in the 1940s. These are the Zionists writing the movies. The Jews, they're being discriminated against, considered to be communists and all these things, and mistreated by the system, right? When they come up out this thing, they about to come up out this thing with a power pack. And they about to take the goddamn industry from them white folks. And they gonna own it all. Because when they get into the 60s, they drop that. Socialism moves over to a black community in the form of the Black Panthers. And they start kicking. But see, most people think that the Black Panthers was black nationalists, and they don't understand these dudes is socialists to the max. They getting funding from Jewish Hollywood, just like the NAACP got funding back then. But see, the Jews are smart enough to play both sides of the chessboard, but they love the side they can control. As they couldn't control black nationalism, but they have a hand in that too. Because you gotta, appear to be fair in order for you to get your way. Because if you was just blatantly unfair, you're going to get attacked. And they smarter than that. So, they do what they got to do. Sometimes they take an L just to win down the road. But nevertheless, we in the 60s. I'm running through this shit because I'm getting tired and I'm ready to do something else. Nevertheless, we in the 60s. We passed through the 50s. We got the Hollywood 10 right here. We in the 60s. Now the game is going into overdrive, and guess who coming along? This is who I'm gonna narrate myself out. I am the modern day social critic, Harold Cruz. Y'all don't know nothing about Harold Cruz. I got a video on my channel, 1972, Harold Cruz Symposium. He's speaking. Go watch it. Understand what he's talking about. He's telling them in 1972 that if they thought what they just went through was black power, they're a damn fool. That's what he's telling them. Go watch the video. I didn't say it. He did. He wrote a hit rock book called The Crisis of the Negro Intellectual in 1967 and dropped that atomic bomb on their ass. And they didn't like it. And they couldn't stop it because he narrated the history in that book and showed how it's impossible for this to be black power. He said, this may be the idea, the awakening of something, but this damn show ain't black power. But we all running around putting up the communist fist in the air yelling out black power and don't even know it's a communist fist. Don't know what the damn fist mean. You just think when you ball your fist in the air and hold it up and yell black power, that shit means some shit. That shit don't mean shit. It sound good, but it don't mean nothing. It's communist. It's socialist. And you don't know it. They know you don't know it. That's why Sinetta is over there yelling that shit because he don't know it. Don't make me get into the sickle and the hammer, damn it, and tell y'all what the fists mean. I make logos for a goddamn living. I know you want me go there. Damn. How y'all doing this to me? I'm ready to lay it down, and I keep thinking of more shit, and y'all don't understand. But y'all gonna get this work. Loaded luck. What up, though? Everybody using your slogan, man. The hammer and the sickle. That's your fist right there. Don't believe me? Do your homework. I ain't gonna give you all the game at 2 o'clock in the morning. You gotta do some of this work. But we're gonna read a little bit. We're gonna get into it. Just a little bit. Right? The hammer and the sickle. Some Russian shit. At the time of the creation, the hammer stood for industrial labor and the sickle for the peasantry. Combined, they stood for Worker Peasants Alliance for Socialism and against reactionary movements and foreign intervention. After the Russian Civil War, the hammer and the sickle became more widely used and symbolized for peaceful labor with the Soviet Union. Now, I gave you the breakdown on the hammer and the sickle. Now watch this, right? And the black power fist. Boom. You gonna believe this shit? You gonna read? Now we're gonna get into the raised fist. Boom. You ever seen this fist before on a goddamn comedic RBG flag page? I don't know what the hell they got on their shit. Watch and see. The raised fist, also known as the clenched fist, is a symbol of solidarity and support. It is also as a salute to express unity, strength, defiance, or resistance. And the salute dates back to the ancient Assyrians and the symbol, right? Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's just too far back. We trying to get up to what the hell is going on with us, right? All right. So the raised fist logo may represent unity or solidarity in general with oppressed people. The black fist, also known as the black power fist, is a logo generally associated with black nationalism and sometimes socialism. Most widely known uses are the Black Panther Party in the 1960s. A black fist logo was also adopted by the Northern soul music subculture. The white fist, also known as the Aryan fist, or the white power fist, as a logo generally associated with white nationalism. The white fist holding the red rose, blah, 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 used by the Socialist Internationalists and some socialist democratic parties, right? Now, when they talk about this thing being associated with black nationalism, they talking about some modern day shit. Not no 60s, because the Black Panthers wasn't black nationalists to be holding up no fist to represent black nationalists, because they were socialists, right? So now we know the raised fist, right? Let's go a little deeper, right? Let's go a little deeper. The communist pedigree of the clenched fist. We just talked about the clenched fist. You see the sickle and the hammer and the clenched fist, right? Oh, look at this. They talking about my boy, Malik Zulu. Mazik, let's read a little bit, see what the hell's going on. New American. Let's make sure we're on some proper shit, because the New American, let's go down and find out who shit this is, because this could be one of them BOGO sites. Can't be going in on one of them. All right, let's read a little bit. The communist pedigree of the clenched fist. Salute. Riot protesters, demonstrator, rallies. Blow this up for y'all. Pick the issue: police brutality, racism, Occupy Wall Street, oil and gas, fracking, minimum wage, legislation, education, funding, etc. It's a sure bet, and a certain symbol will be ever present. When Baltimore erupted into flames, riots, lootings, blah, blah, blah. In Ferguson, black rioters were looted, went on a rampage, spurred by the media. Black protesters with their Clint fish raised in the air were photographed and displayed on the cover of Revolution, right? Yeah, this site ain't going deep enough for me. But I'll find it because I know it's there. I ain't going to get into the Aaron fist. I want to show y'all that this is a communist fist, right? Let me put that in. Communist. Hold on. Boom, right? Okay. Let's see what the brief history of the clenched fist. The present symbol of the resistance of unity, the clenched fist or raised fist, is part of a broader genre of hand symbols that include the peace V and the forward thrust fist and the collapsed hand. And the clenched fist usually appear in full frontal display showing all fingers and is associated and occasionally integrated with other images such as peace symbols or tools. The hammer hand has been used in art from the very beginning, starting with the stunning example of the Neolithic cave paintings. Early examples of the fist in graphic arts can be found at least far back as 1917, with other examples from Mexico. First image in some form were used in numerous political graphic genres, including the French and Soviet revolutions, the United States Communist Party, and the Black Panther Party for self-defense. You got it? Look at the connection. First image in some form were used in numerous Soviet revolutions, the United States Communist Party, and the Black Panther Party of self-defense. However, these all followed the iconographic convention. The fist was always part of something holding a tool or other symbol, part of an arm or a human fingers, or shown in action, smashing, etc. Boom, that's the fist. Now you connect that fist, you don't get that fist before the Black Panthers with black folks. You don't get it. You get it with white folks, with communists. You get it with the Socialist Revolutionary Party, but not with black folks before black power in the 1960s. It just don't happen. You don't got no fist rolling with Marcus Garvey and the RBGs in the 1930s and the 1920s. You can't post a picture, homie. Go get the picture of the RBG, red, black, and green community, Pan-African community holding up the fist. Go get the picture before the socialist, communist, revolutionary spirit of the 1960s Black Panther Party. Get a picture. Post it. Debunk pit boss. It ain't hard to do if you think I'm lying. Just find it. So, man, this was a long, drawn out one tonight, man. Sheesh. Let me see. Let me get back to what's really going on. What up, Jizzy Zai Fox? Hey, let's see what Jizzy Zai Fox. Y'all go subscribe to Jazzy Zai Fox channel. I'm gonna check you out. I'm gonna go subscribe to your channel. Right. Okay, so a lot of those Jews were actually former Nazis that changed their names when coming to America. That's right. That's right. They start taking surnames, trying to hide. But we're going to find you tonight, right? You dropping that knowledge. Thank you, Jazzy Zai Fox. You want to come in the room? If somebody want to come in the room, just let me know. I'll drop the link. I'll let y'all in and holler at me. Who cares, right? We just flowing. So if you want to come in the room, post it. Let me know. I'll put the link in the room. Y'all can do what you do. I ain't tripping. I'm almost to the end of the show. If don't nobody come in the room, let me go get the link real quick. See what's happening. Somebody might be feeling froggy and want to leave. Where's my link? Shit. Okay, here we go. All right. Damn. Let me copy that. And boom. I hope this thing act right. Okay, bam. Somebody want to come in before I get off and say something about the flow. Shut me down or build me up. There go the link. Do what you do. And to my little late nighters, my 5 late nighters are still hanging. That was y'all might be on the West Coast, you might be on the East Coast. It's a little late tonight. We still riding. Somebody else joined in. We're gonna keep this cracking, but hey, you know, I'm just trying to give y'all a little something different that I don't see the intelligentsia of Sinetta TV and the other channels, the Amara Squad, you know, I'll shout out everybody because I ain't tripping. Go sign everybody channel and follow along with the madness. What's up with you, Jazzy Zah Fox, getting it in? And it's not, you know, all we doing with this conscious community is we building the brands. We're building a new way to communicate. That's all we're doing. Whether you like this person's information or you know, you don't like their information. We're building each other's brands and learning to meet new people. So if you can get beyond hating a person over their perspective. Did somebody enter in? Hold on, let me go. Oh, look at who came in, Mr. I Gotta Have It. Let me turn my screen off. What's up with you?
Peace, man. It's 1:49 in the morning, man. It's 2:49 where you at.
Well, man, you know, you the marathon man, so you can't complain about me, bro.
You talk about them unconscious Harlem folks.
Man, you know, you know, somebody called me, man, and they wanted me to touch on it. I wasn't even really in the mood when they called. I messed around and was like, okay, you know, it got midnight. I started sitting around like, okay, I think I'm feeling it a little bit. And so, you know, I said, let me go in a little bit.
You know, an interesting thing is when Sinetta went and attacked that white man. I don't know who he was. He's a mysterious white man on the street. Maybe he paid him like paid that other.
You mean the one that was kind of like on drugs or something?
No, that was a funny video too. But the one that was like running for quote unquote office or whatever, and he was out there when he did the niggas attack Sinetta in Harlem or whatever.
Well, I showed that earlier. I showed a piece of that clip.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, that was bring it up,
huh? Funny thing, I bring it up because I was watching Luke Cage, you know. And,
okay.
I just happened to go to Facebook and see that you was posting this and everything, so I ended up over here. But anyway,
that's what's up.
He said the Negroes attacked him and stuff. Well, he don't get attacked like that on 125th, but when he go to other parts of Harlem, they don't know him. So they just figure he's a troublemaker. You know, they don't see the YouTube glare and shiny lights and all the flare and, you know, posters on the wall and stuff and backdrops and stuff. So they just like, man, you over here causing problems. What you doing?
Well, now I showed another video along with that clip where Sinetta posted and they put a camera on top of Red Pill's table where he's selling a little t-shirt. So now they got a police camera bolted on the floor, 24-hour view.
But ain't it funny how that's the only spot that hadn't been gentrified in Harlem? Like that store been closed and he been standing there in that spot for years.
Yeah, he been on front of that.
Like they left that spot for him to be there. You know, so when you hear people like call young Pharaoh an agent and stuff, you have to ask the question, what has Sinetta been in, what role has he been playing in this community for so long, but yet you get no results of revolution, evolution, or, you know, anything. So, you know, I know the people out there wondering and asking what's going on and trying to figure it out, but it's simple. You know, and we've been talking about it and dealing with it a lot on our channel, and now we over here. So, you know, but it's like
they seem pretty worried about that camera because, you know, they talking about they really need that van. You know, they probably got me ready to go shoot $5-6 over there so they can get away from that camera because they seem like that camera is messing with them. Now, no matter what they film, the police got a clear vision of everybody, not just on the camera, but standing around the camera. So now they can figure out more information than they can get from just looking on who's on camera.
Yeah, you know, well, you know, it's been stated and it's been, you know, whispered that, you know, they do other activities around that area. Some of them type, you know, things. What he got, you know, framed for.
Wow. Well, you know, like I say, they did this other video with a guy. I think the first time I seen him was on your channel. You probably could state his full name. I just know him by Rosenberg, too. Jeffrey Rosenberg. So the first time I seen that guy was on your channel, and you did like a little interview with him. So now he done blew up a little bit more. Went over to Sinetta. Now he flies to California, and all of a sudden he out there with Polite, right?
Well, you know,
they do this video.
Celebration mode.
There you go. They trying to integrate California with California. You know, they've been integrated. So someone hit me up that watched the video, and they was like, "Well, I don't think, you know, Polite really kicked it down." Even though I listened to it, Polite had a few little pointers. He didn't have everything wrong, but the main point he had wrong: the fact that Polite thinks that Zionism is a religion, when Zionism is opposite religion. And
Zionism is equivalent to what? I know you know.
True, but I ain't gonna make that statement just straight flat because you're in a way you're right as far as what the motive of what it's trying to accomplish.
Political ideology. That's all that I was really.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's a political ideology that's aiming to uplift Jewish people according to their narrative all around the world to be economically strong, culturally strong, and the land that they've taken claim of comes from the biblical narrative, their version of the biblical narrative, that land belongs to them. And so that's why they over there dropping bombs over Baghdad.
Right.
Because, you know, they want to keep that land, and they're making the statement that they're going to keep it. But the reality was what I showed tonight was, no, this you didn't go get this land. You claiming it was a biblical narrative. And I'm speaking of those who are promoting Zionism, that you claim it. Because the people who are Jews out there who are like, they say they got a group called Jews for Jesus, right?
Yeah, that's the guy I talked to. Dr. Michael Brown is a part of that.
Okay, so those Jews, they're against the Zionist concept of taking this land like that, right? So you got same people, but they don't have the same agenda, which is the same with the Jew that I put up on my channel named Benjamin Freeman, who in the 60s was a champion for being an anti-Semitic, as the terminology is stated. You know what I mean? So it's not that all the Jews feel that way, But the ones that really got the power and control, they're the ones that feel that way.
Yeah, if you ever listen to Stokely Carmichael or, Kwame Ture, he got a video out there that I forget what college he was at when he did it, but he was explaining Zionism, and he say Africa gave the world Zionism. Africa gave the world all the major Abrahamic religions, seeing that Abraham was on that continent known as Africa. And he even visited the place on the continent that people big up, Kemet or the Nile Valley, and met him a couple pharaohs, and had run-ins with him. But at the same time, Northeast Africa is what they're claiming is their land. Right. The promised land, Northeast Africa. And seeing that it's Northeast Africa, as I was alluding to, Pan-Africanism is trying to go back to Africa for Africans. Africa for Africans. So it's trying to gather up all the Africans on the throughout the diaspora and bring them home to Africa, even the Northeast. Right? So I don't think he really understands that the political ideology dealing with the landmass of Africa from the quote-unquote black Jew or white Jew perspective is very similar. It's just Theodore Herzl came up with his, and Booker T and Marcus and everybody else came up with theirs, and they're very close related in years, if you really look at it. But Zionism is a biblical thing. So even these, Zionism,
well,
is what I would say Pan-Africanism. So if you really look at it, it's just an exodus from throughout the diaspora back into the continent of Africa, which is the mother of all.
Here's the tricky part. The Zionists don't believe in the Bible. They are anti-Bible as far as belief, the Zionists. But they're using the Bible narrative so that they can make the claim that the land is theirs. But if you're going to believe that the Bible is saying that, then you must believe the Bible. So it's like you don't believe the Bible, but you like that part. So you're cherry picking the Bible. So
that's the politics, though. That's why it's a political ideology. We need a land, and we need to go somewhere, because everywhere we go, people trying to kill us. They burning us. They putting us in. They doing all this stuff. So Zion or Jerusalem for the Jews, similar to Africa for the Africans. But see, that's why they cut that portion off and said that's not Africa. That's the Middle East.
Right.
The black Jews or the African Hebrews or the African Israelites, or however you would want to phrase that, would say, no, we've been scattered from the land and we ran from that portion of the land.
Well, see, that's why I show what is called the Belfast Conference of, I believe I was showing, it was like 1884 and 85. When they chopped up Africa, that was a portion that they wasn't interested in. And so the Jews was like, well, let us have that. And y'all keep Africa with all the diamonds and the gold. And they didn't have no problem with it, because they had no interest in Israel like that, to where they wanted to include that into what they were chopping up for themselves. So they said, cool, but they couldn't get it at that time. So they asked for that favor later on, as they put their program together, because they had to do a whole lot of work to get the narrative moving through, the common person. They had to create the Zionist Christian within the Christian church. That's why I showed the C.I. Scofield Bible, because that was the Bible that implanted the seed of creating a Christian Zionist, where the Christians would agree with this, but they're not agreeing it for them if they're like a Gentile Christian, a Gentile that became a Christian. But if they would say, well, yeah, that's for the Jews.
Well, it's all about usurping. They usurping and taking stuff and using it for themselves, for their own political ambitions.
Exactly. Exactly.
As I tell people, you know, from the Israelite narrative and then even the biblical narrative, Jacob took on Esau identity to get the birthright in the first place, even though it was promised to him before they came out the womb, even though he bought it and everything was legal, he had to take the firstborn, who is Esau, identity. So, you know, I know we probably disagree and others may disagree with me because I say this and a lot of people don't say, okay, that sounds good. But now Esau is taking, you know, Jacob's identity to proclaim that birthright and do stuff. So it's just usurping. He said Jacob usurped him, so he's usurping him. And, it, you know, so.
But the bigger picture, you know, I could feel you on coming from that perspective. But the bigger picture in regards to this conscious community, which kind of keeping that narrative and what we're doing in this thing, is who is promoting what ideology currently, and who does that ideology match up to people of the past? So now you have this Kemetic community that's mirroring Aleister Crowley, you know, Alice Bailey, the Free Thinkers Society, all these people who hated the Bible.
Well, as Harry Rosenberg said, they represent the Illuminati and that craziness that people talk about, and they represent the Gentile rulership or dynasty or dominance at this time, saying that they more intact with that through their Freemasonry and all the things that they do. So Aleister Crowley, them, though they might have usurped, you know, Egyptian, Kemetic, or Nile Valley stuff, they have given it back to them, and now they following that the same way that, you know, they stole Zionism and usurped it for their own political cause and feed it to the people through their paradigm or lens.
Right.
So you got all these foreigners that none of this stuff is theirs, and they, you know, reinstituting it in the community of people that's ignorant of, hey, that was yours. You got to purge all they garbage out and get back to the, you know, essence of what really is supposed to be in there. You have to, as people say in the community, research and stuff. But they're not doing that. They just regurgitate.
Well, it's pretty much how we got to this conundrum here, where you got all these black folks thinking that they moving in the right direction by picking up the Kemetic science and using it instead of being mayat with it and being respectful of other people's beliefs and being balanced and being harmonious with the environment. They only attack. They doing the bidding of the free thinking society of the 1900s.
Right. Well, what people got to realize, and that's what I've been bringing up, and, you know, I get on and off of subjects because you know, people don't be following it, so ain't no use of stressing something that people, but we know that the election cycle happens every 4 years. We know that the Olympic happens every 4 years. These people have a cycle of things that they do and a renewal or replenishing of stuff. So, you know, we all looked at Barack Obama go through 2 cycles, 2 presidencies, 4 years, that's 8, right? And now you have a Hillary Clinton, and you have a Donald Trump. Now, they here to usher in something that's different than what was in the past. Barack said, we're going to bring a change. People was like, yeah, that's cool. We with Barack. And he brought in the LBG and everything else. The new world order got stronger during his presidency, right? But now you got 2 people that's been playing a part of the Alex Bailey and, you know, all these different people do without Wilt and stuff. And people been doing that. So we not looking at the next presidency and what's about to occur. 2017, it's gonna be a change. But more than anything, Sonetta has been here all this time, and he has helped destroy the unity, the conversations that could have been had. Like Royale, people don't listen to him when he make his argument. Say, I came when Barack first came in office, and I said, let's all get together and talk reparations. And if we all got on one accord through the different devices and YouTube and all of that, we could have made a dent, and we could have had the president, the first black, quote unquote, black president on our side in making that argument. If we would have organized and went that way, and he was trying to use Sonetta platform from his point of view to help do that. Sonetta shot that down. So when you see a man shooting down options that sound and valid, and then bringing BS to the table, bullshit to the table, then it's just simple as that. It's like you fucked off opportunities for us, only to divide us, and now you're asking a question with Marcus and Jeffrey Rosenberg: can blacks and Jews coincide with each other, come together? Well, as I told Jeffrey, you know, because I talked to Jeffrey, you know, I introduced him to the community, as you say. I said, man, you talk with Polite, but you didn't go there to fight. Polite was there fighting. He was throwing blows and setting you up and doing different little things. You got to go and fight. Your attitude got to be, this is a fight. Never once have you or Harry told that community that y'all anti-Semitic. Y'all anti-white Jews, but you're just as much anti-black Jews or black Hebrew Israelites. You're trying to destroy the black one and the white one. You know, and the run they had with the black ones, they're looking to have with the white ones now. And they're picking subpar ones to debate. They're not going out there grabbing one of the radical ones or this, that, and the other and saying, yeah, let's talk. I want it with you. They're trying to get the softful ones. Even though I think they might fight, Jeffrey might fight. I thought Harry was gonna give a good fight. I was kind of wrong. You know, he made his little statement with his bodyguards and ran back to Israel. We ain't really heard much from Harry Rosenberg since. But now Jeffrey Rosenberg is there. What's the coincidence? They both got the same last name. And as we know, Jews, certain names denote what their occupations and different stuff in, their interests in different stuff. You know, so it's funny, man. It's a funny thing. I'm gonna have to go back and watch this from the beginning. Like I said, I was watching Luke King. I'm on episode 4, and I look over. I said, "Pit Boss did post something. What's this?" And you over here live.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm watching that. That's pretty interesting. And yeah, so you know, I've been on here about, I think I'm turning into the 3rd hour. So, you know, if you want to shout out your channel or something, you know, let them know where to find you. They probably already know. They know.
Yeah, for those that don't know, it's Israel Doctrine Reloaded. That's where I go live at now. My other channels have been attacked. You know, they trying to slow down my my madness. But people, it's simple as this. I done talked about Zionism with the Jews. You just got to go on my channel and find it. You know what I'm saying? If I get an opportunity, I'm going to reload it on Israel Doctrine Reloaded. Israel Doctrine is the channel that it's on. But I done spoke with them about it. You know what I'm saying? That's exclusive stuff. Sonetta can't bring that to you. Just like when I talked to Shakim Arming, you know, at the end of the day, the man's on the ground. That's exclusive stuff. So though I do what I do, I still try to bring you some exclusive, ground breaking, you know, trailblaze and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So check me out. We're gonna have some new stuff going on Israel Doctrine Reloaded.
Okay, well that's Doctrine Reloaded, y'all. Y'all can go over there, subscribe to his channel. I'm assuming nobody else wants to come into the link. And I gave it my little sleepy flow tonight. You know what I'm saying? A little tired, but I smashed through some information. If I didn't do anything else, I pointed out some definite articles that y'all can go pull up for yourself and go deeper into. And, you know, pass this video out over there, like I say, sign on to Carl Albert Reloaded. He got the new channel. And subscribe, go over there, sign up to Signetta TV, and you know all the different channels that's involved in this community, so you can kind of see why we speak the way we do and what we're doing. And you know, and you can also think about, you know, the work we put in for this stuff. Like when you go to these people's channel and you're in a position, support the channels however you can, either by sharing it, liking it, subscribing it, or donating money to them. It don't have to be a lot. Sometimes it be just $3-4. If you can get that 100 times, it's appreciated. So you do that.
Even if you don't like
it. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what it is, y'all. So, you know, Carl, I'm going to drop this little beat on him like I'm Tommy Sotomayor or something. I have been rocking this little beat. And I'm
going to have to teach you more, too, because you got this scream all. You could at least stop sharing it and use your logo. About to help you out with your live stream.
See what happens is normally I'm online through Safari and I have to go on this Google Chrome, and then it be acting weird, like it wouldn't show my camera today. So, you know, I gotta go in here and probably put some plugins and do something to it. But yeah, I call you up on the offline tip and get a couple of fine tuning, because I know you do this stuff 8 times a day. So so with that, my bro, I'm out of here, man. And you know, we'll be back at it tomorrow.
All right, peace.
Peace.